you feel like you're home. And even though they may not know who I am, they treat me as though I'm family, just as they treat my mother like she's their family and friend.
Hi, I'm Agnes Stowicki, Managing Editor with Comfort Life. We're speaking with insiders from Canada's leading retirement communities and care providers to uncover insights to community lifestyle, care, culture, and leadership. This includes insights from residents, family members, and administration. This is the Comfort Life Insider Perspective.
I appreciate the help I get, particularly from this girl next to me here. Emily has been wonderful. All the staff is great, and I really enjoying it very, very much.
What I like about the Meadowlands community, I'd say it really boils down to about four different things. I would say it is the lifestyles team who are always happy. They genuinely appear to love their jobs, which is evident in how they treat the community members, as they're called, who live there. They help out each and every month with a calendar of events, of new events that keep the residents active. I would say it's the nursing team who are empathetic to the residents. They always have an eye open to see when there may be a problem with a community member, and they're very quick to call me as the family member. I would say the other component would be how bright and modern the facility is, how well kept it is. And that's genuinely is portrayed, I would say, that people really love what they do and they take pride in where they work.
Absolutely fantastic. I love it. And I loved all the activities that we have here. I love bocce, bowling, leaderball. I love pool. I play pool twice a week with one of the guys here. I'm more alert here. If I had been at home alone, here I'm got friends around, and everybody is so friendly, you know. Yeah, it's a very nice suite. What I really like about it, I'm on the first floor. I got my own patio, so that I think that if I was up on the second or third floor, I would feel isolated. The size of the rooms are fine, just for a little girl like me. I'm only 5'1", so it's big enough for me.
Yes, absolutely. So I would say it boils down to a couple of things. One is better nutrition, living on your own. She been
Can
with
you hear?
of years, and she. I'm not sure that she was eating well. It's lonely to prepare a meal for yourself, and so she's now has a wide variety of menu items served at dinner tables with white tablecloths, with built-in friends. I would say there's more joy in her life as she lives every day to the fullest. She's taken up painting at the age of 98. She's learned to play billiards. There's a number of different visual arts forms that she's taken on. As you heard her say, she's a big sports fan, so she's learned to play bocce ball and leaderball. She's even playing Wii bowling. And I think from another health standpoint, Brian, would be that at the age of 99, my mother's joined a gym. So she's never exercised a day in her life. And so earlier this year, she's joined the gym there and she's supervised. So that is comforting to the family. And she's at the gym twice a week.
Absolutely improved 100%. I just can't explain how I feel, really. It's been a wonderful experience for me. I left a three-story home that had lots of stairs to go up and down. And Kathy and my son Dennis, they wanted me out of there. And the whole thing was their idea. They did it without me knowing. They looked around, and I had no idea what they were up to till they got back to the house and said, "Mom, we found a place for you." And I'm telling you, Brian, when I came in here, I knew it was the place for me. And I've been very happy ever since the very first day. And with this wonderful girl here, Emily has been so useful to me. As Kathy said, one call and they're there to help. Even the maintenance men are there, right on top, you know. It has everything you want to do, the activities, the lifestyle. They do a wonderful job, and attending by the people here, lovely. One thing I like, they shower me. I don't even have to do that by myself.
When we were, my brother and I, looking for a place for my mother to enjoy her life in a community spot, we looked at a number of different places. And I think what attracted us, first of all, was the curb appeal of the location. Beautifully landscaped area, a large tree-lined, beautifully manicured. So that looked like pride of ownership. A nice little community garden for folks to plant their own vegetables and so forth. But once you step inside the main entrance of the building, it's bright and airy, which made it a little bit different than some of the other places that we had seen where residents were sitting, in their walkers, looking like that was going to be their entertainment for the day, watching visitors come and go. So here you walk into, high ceilings, a large room off to your right that has a lovely grand piano, which is a gathering spot, a little cafe with tables like a Parisian cafe. And so it just had an air about it, an atmosphere, if you will, that identifies people who live here are really living here and enjoying their life. The staff were friendly, the residents walking with purpose, that they had somewhere to go. So you knew that it was a bustling community. So I am caregiver, primary caregiver to my life partner who has medical issues. And I am the only child that's here in the province. And so my mother lived 5 minutes away from me in her home of 66 years. And so she was doing things on her own because that's how she's always lived her life. So that meant, even though she had someone to do gardening and to clear her snow, she did that for herself. So that was always a concern, looking after her own place. And possibly things like her television wouldn't come on, or there was an issue with the cable box, or her Wi-Fi had gone off on her computer. So, with the folks that are living on site there, it's a quick phone call and immediate reaction. So it's taken a lot of stress off my shoulders by being the primary caregiver to two people. While some people may be reluctant to give up their family homes to move to community living, it is a very short it is a very short period of time before they'll feel like the Meadowlands would be their home. I would say that there's a peace of mind knowing that the employees that are there are razor focused on the well-being of the community members. And this was particularly evident through the pandemic when outbreaks happened in retirement homes nearby where my mother lives, as well as throughout the city and in neighboring cities. And the communication was second to none. When there were provincial changes, it was real time in plain speak, to reassure family members that our loved ones were safe, even though we couldn't come to visit them. Every effort was made, to, and continues to be, to set up, if you can't see your community member in person, it's, we'll set up something to meet with them FaceTime, that type of thing. And I would say the third piece, Brian, would be it's perfect for the people who are young at heart, because it's an active lifestyle. You can be as active as you wish. Or if you're one of those people that just like to knit in your apartment on your own, but enjoy meals with others, there's that that's offered out to you as well. So it's really a perfect environment for everyone. Okay, so the first thing I would suggest is that people speak to their family doctor or others who are in the same situation looking for a place for their loved one. I would say that it's important to research. So whether it's your magazines or Google, a way to determine what other people found and how those are rated, understanding that often people are more in a complaining mode than a complimentary mode. And then telephone. Get that first reaction from the people who answer the phone. How quickly do they call you back to make an appointment? How interested is the person who's going to show you around their premises? How excited are they about where they work? And then, cost comes into it as well. And so those all lined up for us. Our decision was made on the spot. I had known a couple of friends whose parents had moved there at some point in their lives. But equal to that, it was about 20 blocks away from my mother's home of 66 years. So it left her in the same community, same church, same stores that she would be familiar in shopping in. Friends still live in the community. And so it would be easy for her to get around. She had her car with her there until last year. So, easy to get around because it's well located. My brother and I had visited 3 locations, and it was obvious to me in advance that this would be the perfect spot, just based on its reputation, to balance community life with care of health. And so when I took my brother, who was from out of province, we went there last because I knew that once we went there, it was obvious that was going to be the place. So when the decision was made and a patio apartment was available, I went in and we went through the house together. After 66 years, you have lots of items accumulated. And I packed up the house with my mother's oversight, and a moving company came, and they were very accommodating at the Meadowlands, quickly moved her items into her apartment, and I unpacked it in a day, and she moved in. So it was a very, very smooth process. So yeah, when you arrive as a new community member, they assign you a buddy, And that buddy takes you around and introduces you to all the amenities, to the gym, to the movie theater, to the hairdresser, to all the different locations, and stays with you by your side, takes you to your meals, and just until those first few days of all the different areas. Do I go left? Do I go right? And so that was comforting, as someone who's new to the place and an instant friend, if you will. So that was lovely. And then they were kind and gave out coupons for bring a friend to a meal, invite someone that you wished, and they can come and join you for a lunch or a dinner. And so, yeah, so they really went out of their way to make you feel at home. And it's not just your home, but your friends and your family are welcome here too. It was a wow factor. It really was a wow factor. When you walk through the door, as I had mentioned, uh, you walk through the door of the Meadowlands and it's bright. There's a concierge there to greet you from probably 20 feet away, but it's a call out right away. Hi. And you feel like you're home. And even though they may not know who I am, they treat me as though I'm family, just as they treat my mother like she's their family and friend. And so the decor is cheery. It's clean, well maintained, and the grand room with the grand piano, coming from an artistic family, was a feature.
I can't really add too much to what Kathy just said. When you walk through that door for the first time, you just felt like you were at home. You somebody to greet you, and what I liked about it when I got here first is somebody took me around and showed me everything. You know, where the pool room was, for example, and and uh, and the pool itself where you swim. But I don't swim, so I wouldn't go in there anyway. But I don't think I can add anything to what she said. Everybody is so friendly, and everybody says hello when you walk down the hall. Somebody says hello.
When you go into the Meadowlands, let me talk a little bit about the apartments. Are roughly the same size of a small condo in downtown Toronto. They're quite spacious and they're extremely well laid out for the residents. So there's a walk-in shower, which is a safety feature both for the resident and family members. The kitchen is designed so that the cupboards are easily reachable for someone who would be mobility challenged. I would say the doorways are nice and wide, so anyone who's in a wheelchair or a walker would be easily able to get around. So these are the kinds of things that I was interested in when looking for a place that my mother would be comfortable. From a very personal and selfish point of view, uh, we had been suggesting to my mother that she give up her home and move to a community living atmosphere. She's a very sociable person and loves to be in the company of others. She loves to learn new things. She, as you've heard about all of these hobbies that she's taken up. And I think life was a bit lonely since my father had passed away. And so I wish I had possibly been more forceful for her to move to community living earlier to enjoy even more years where she is.
Yes, I do. Yeah,
Mhm.
I could have as soon as my husband died, I could have moved here right away. But anyway, and I tell you something, I don't think anybody here is as busy as I am. You know, if I didn't have it all written down, I would forget. I'm sure. You know, I sign on for a lot of things, right, Emily? And I'm on the go all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For more information about this community, you can visit their profile at comfortlife.ca.